Yeah, Deepali, can we start?
Yes, sir.
Good. Good afternoon or good evening, rather. It's four, so it's evening
Good
already.
afternoon. Yes, sir.
So, how are you doing?
Yes, sir, I'm fine. How are you?
Yeah, how's your preparation going on?
Good going on.
Good. So, when is your date, interview date?
So mine is on 16th of April.
Wow, I think it's quite a long distance away from here.
Yes, it's very long. So that's
So you must be, I think finding it difficult to maintain your focus and concentration, for this period.
yes, sir. It is difficult because like everyone has started preparing, but because of that, I've joined one or two peer discussion groups where I discuss. So that is keeping me in the inertia of or the momentum that is required for the interview preparation.
This peer group, how do you do it? Is it online groups or physical groups?
Yeah, it's an online group because I stay in my home location. So here it is. Mumbai, they are not such aspirants that I will be available in compared to Delhi. Had I been in
Understood.
Delhi, so I would have joined an offline group.
Okay, fine. Uh, See, this one-on-one session would be structured into two parts.
Yes,
The
sir.
first part would be the interview part, where it's more of a discussion. I would be triggering you into a discussion with me on a few key areas, and
Yes, sir.
after this discussion portion is over, then I would be reviewing your performance, and I would be giving you the feedback.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes,
so
sir.
we will start the interview.
Yes, sir.
I find that you are from some, your parents are from Bihar, Samastipur, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. My father's native place is Samastipur, and I'm
Uh-huh.
born in Samastipur.
Okay, and you're also interested in Madhubani paintings.
Yes, sir.
All right. So, how did you develop this Madhubani interest in Madhubani painting, and when did you develop this?
So my mother belongs to the Madhubani district of Bihar, and she
Hmm.
herself is a trained Madhubani artist. So when
Okay.
I was a young child, I had used to see her doing that painting. So
Hmm.
and that inculcated or showed me a path of Madhubani painting, and that is also a way by which I connect to my roots of Bihar.
Oh, that's very nice to know that you're remaining quite rooted to your mother's place of birth.
Yes.
And do you still find time to make these paintings yourself?
I do find time to make the paintings, but not on a regular basis. But once in 6 months or 3 months, I try to do some painting.
Okay. So how many paintings have you collected so far of your own?
So I have made I am still an apprentice in this and novice, so I might have made 4 or 5 good paintings, but not
Okay.
very much.
What does your mother say? Does she give you approval?
She initially I used to just fill colors in her painting initially when I was a kid. So that also she used to be very checking whether I'm filling in the proper gaps and the lines that I'm making are very minute or proper according to the drawing. But then I have learned it from her. So now she gives me
Very,
approval.
very. What's your favorite subject when you do your paintings?
My favorite subject will be the that natural component that Madhubani painting incorporates, especially the trees, plants, animals that it. And secondly, so the use of natural color, which is very rare, but the older painting my mother has, she has of the natural colors, which still has maintained some kind of integrity. That is the one component I
That's
like
amazing.
about it.
Amazing. Very nice to know about this. Well, talking about Madhubani, uh, I wish to ask you a very, a question that really interests me a lot. See, Madhubani and Darbhanga are, two neighboring districts, of this Mithilanchal, area. While Darbhanga seems to have progressed, somewhat better in terms of infrastructure and education. Why is that Madhubani, is lagging behind?
Yes, I agree that Darbhanga has seen a better share of development because of various components. That is the accessibility to the national to the state capital, that is Patna. Secondly, so there is international airport of Darbhanga that increase the mobility of people. Third will be, sir, there is presence of colleges and educational hub. And fourthly, sir, there is historical reasons also. There is Darbhanga state that was famous in Darbhanga, who made sure that the development happened pre-independence era, which is some challenges that Madhubani faces. And one of the major challenges Madhubani faces is also the climatic action challenges, especially the floods that happen in the Kosi River that overflows to the Gangatic plain. So this is the challenges that Madhubani faces.
How do you, foresee this the change for the better?
There has been increased focus in the Mithilanchal region, especially in the control of flood. There has been increase due to connectivity that Bihar has one of the highest density of road connectivity that is present. With the initiation of the waterways one, that will also increase the connectivity of Bihar to the nearest ports of Hooghly. Thirdly, so there has been increase in the agriculture as well as the allied sector, that is horticulture, because Mithilanchal is famous for the makhanas as well as as well as langda mangoes. So the government is trying to focus on value addition as well as promoting entrepreneurship in these areas, so that the skills that the Bihari community consists will be utilized in these areas. And also, we are trying.
All right. I came across, a news article which said that there has been a conclave for sports persons conducted by Sports Star in Patna, Bihar. Are you aware of it? Are you familiar with it?
Yes, there was. So sorry, I'm not able to recall it. But there was international level of sports that was organized in Bihar
Yeah,
that period.
there is a lot of sports promotion happening
Yes,
in Bihar, and especially to provide opportunities for women athletes in a bigger way.
yes,
So anyway,
yes, sir.
not that you are not very familiar, so we'll not talk about that. See, your father is from the Customs and GST department.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so is he still in service?
He retired in the year 2022.
Okay. See, you have grown up watching him perform his duties.
Yes, sir.
Now that you are appearing for civil service, would you be keen to follow in his footsteps and join the Indian Revenue Service, or you have chosen something else? I think you've chosen something else.
Sir, I have, as you have rightly pointed out, that from my birth, I've seen my father doing his bit towards the a country's economy as well as revenue. So that has inspired me to join civil services. But he from that and also from the experience that I have gained from a medical field, that has made I have shifted towards more of the administrative field. My first option of that is Indian Administrative Services, and because it has more divergence as well as more various field that I could cover, which is one of the lackings of the revenue services. But given the opportunity, I will like to serve in the revenue services also.
All right, but I also see that you have not chosen Indian Foreign Service. I think you were given the fifth position to Indian Foreign Service. Why this distaste for serving abroad or serving in the foreign ministry?
The Indian Foreign Services is a good service that represents India on the international sphere, especially in the diplomatic sphere, and where India is taking leaps and strides towards becoming Vishwaguru. But sir, my inclination was to serve India on its grassroots levels. So I have more focus towards Indian administrative services and police services.
But since the world is shrinking into a global village, it is not what we used to see about 30 years ago, or before you were born. It used to be a very protected national borders and boundaries, but then now it's become very seamless.
Yes,
So it would appear that even if you function at the grassroots level, you would still be interacting with a lot of agencies that are multinational and international. So do you think that one can, to serve, the grassroots, or to serve the needy and the poor, one really needs to be only within the country and work only in the Indian Administrative Service?
I do not agree that one, when needing to serve the grassroots level, only needs to be at the national level, but can also do their bit or uh, a lot from the international sphere that we are seeing with the current Minister of External Affairs also. But so my inclination was towards Indian Administrative Service because I like to work with the people, especially seeing the effect that it has on the people. Because if you see my graduation, that is in medical field. That is also where I do the treatments also I'm always in the public space, so I like to work in the public space.
Okay, so being a dentist, have you had the experience to work in the rural areas?
This will be unfortunate even that I've never worked in a dental experience in the rural area, but I have served in a government college. That was in my graduation, and even through in dental hygiene awareness campaign that I'd run in the with the NGO that was associated with the BMC and municipal schools.
Okay, what is the status of oral and dental health care in our country?
The dent So you require the exact data of the healthcare.
I'm asking what is the status? Are we doing good, bad, ugly? Where are we?
I would say that we are in the middle ground right now with the increased awareness about dental healthcare, and with the National Health Policy of 2017, increasing focus on dental healthcare in the community health centers as well as primary health centers. We are trying to increase the dental health awareness even in the rural area. Yes, there are some challenges. There is increased dental practitioners present in the in the urban areas as compared to the rural areas, which leads to urban versus rural divide. But sir, that is also being addressed with the national dental healthcare policies that the government is taking.
See, we all know about the policies and their good intentions.
Yes, sir.
But the last mile connectivity, as they call it, there is many a slip between the cup and the lip.
Yes, sir.
It's all in the paper. But let us say, let's compare with Tamil Nadu, where
Yes, sir.
the penetration of PHCs and the functioning that the efficiencies with which they function, and all this, when it's say compared with a state like Bihar. Because I know for sure that in Bihar, the PHCs are rarely open, and if they are open, the doctors don't turn up. It's mostly, it falls on the ASHA, workers' shoulders to reach what little, awareness, or any of those, field services. So, as an aspirant, what do you think is the problem with the infrastructure, medical infrastructure with state like Bihar?
I would like to disagree that in the state of Bihar, the primary health centers are not working or not opening. Yes, there are some challenges, but it has seen a commendable improvement since the last decade. There has been increased awareness among the people about the primary health centers. Yes, there are some challenges. The challenges require one is the funding issue, that the government, when allotted the funds, are not even utilizing those funds in the primary health center. Secondly, there is a lack of personals, specialist personals in the primary health centers, because primary health centers are meant for giving them primary health centers as well as emergency care, that to shift the patients to the district hospital.
See,
Thirdly,
Deepali,
yes,
I
sir.
want to interject here. All good. It's fine that you're, giving me a very rosy picture. But even when we talk about Madhubani, the district
Yes, sir.
to which your mother belongs. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now, I have come across articles in the newspaper where uh, girl children are not, registered. Birth registration is not done, and only boys' birth registration get done. and the reasons being that to get the registration done, the those poor folks, they are forced to make payment to the ASHA worker for the birth certificates to be issued. And even if the PHCs are there, they are not open. And I mean, this is all very well documented. I mean, you can look at the brighter side of it, but the brightness, the luminescence in the brightness may be a little dull for our comfort. So, won't you agree with me that much needs to be done in terms of reaching medical health care to the the last person, the most marginalized sections of the society? Would you agree, or would you still say that no, it's not as bad, everything is hunky dory?
Sorry, sir. I was not aware of the points that you have raised. I agree that there are challenges in the primary health center faces, and it is not hunky dory. But saying that it has seen not no improvement will be a a, dishonest to the efforts that the government or the people or the administration is taking. But yes, as a citizen, we should always say that there are some challenges and that needs to be rectified, because that is how the government or the dissent or the government will improve. And improvement, so yes, there should be improvement. If there are some challenges that needs to be addressed, that is whether to the mechanized attendance or grievance
Okay.
redressal or
Okay.
yes, sir.
I know, being you're a dentist, and I think when basic medical services are themselves not reaching to the poorest of poor, uh, expecting dental health care to reach, and dental services to reach them would be more of a far-fetched dream, because there is a criticism that uh, dental implants and treatment as such is very expensive and only well-to-do people can afford. Do you agree or not?
I agree that some type of treatment of dental dentistry are very costly. One, because of the materials that are required are inert materials, that is aluminum, that is gold, silver, platinum. So the materials become costly. Second, the manufacturing of such materials does not happen in India, so that also leads to increased costs. But saying that the treatment is very costly and people cannot afford it, there are cheaper alternatives also available, like dentures, which are comparatively cheaper to implants, but have similar functions for helping in mastication, which a person requires, like chewing the food and living a normal life. So yes, there are some challenges, but that can once India starts manufacturing its own implant and the materials that are available becomes easily, so that also the cost will also reduce. And thirdly, so that when the competition increases in the market, the prices will eventually reduce, because the market forces decide the prices in any nation.
Okay. Uh, See, recently there was the Chinese have entered the artificial intelligence market, and this, they say, has disrupted the current AI ecology uh, by way of deep seek being the generative AI. What do you think China has done?
China has recently opened a open network AI that called DeepSeek, that is along the lines of Open AI or ChatGPT. So that has increased one access to AI based informations in the market. So, and it has seen one largest number of downloads as well as number of users that have come up on that site.
Uh, what is the difference between China's DeepSeek and OpenAI? How do you think it has become disruptive?
Sir, sorry, sir, I'm not able to recall the exact challenges that both the China's DeepSeek and
Okay,
the
okay.
OpenAI.
I will rephrase the question. They say the Chinese DeepSeek is a better alternative to OpenAI. Why so?
I beg to differ. that the Chinese DeepSeek is not a better alternative. That is very much state-controlled information that is being released by the DeepSeek. When you put some questions, it has shown to have inclination towards the Republic of China, and the information as well, rather than saying information, it is disinformation that the DeepSeek is giving. Especially if you see, it is not including Arunachal Pradesh as the state of India. And secondly, Taiwan is being shown that it is an integral part of China. So both these shows that there is increase in the disinformation or misinformation in the public. So it is not a better alternative to OpenAI. But yes, it has increased the competition and people will think to improve their own technology, and India can also learn and start their own open AI platforms.
The monopoly of the OpenAI and the other generative ChatGPT and other stuff is over, is what the software pundits are saying. Is it good or bad?
When there is a competition that emerges in market, it is always a good step, because it leads to decreasing monopoly and also democratization of the information, but as well as technology that happens in the public sphere. And especially when a country, when China comes against USA like country. So yes, it's a good step, but the Chinese are always is known for misusing of the information. So that is should always be considered.
Would you do you think that this Chinese disruption in the tech world augurs well for India or not?
I would say that it is a two-edged sword. That one, the Chinese inclusion in AI has democratized the AI platform, as well as increase the competition and improve. It will also improve R&D as well as technological upgradation that will happen in India. But secondly, it is a challenge, because any progression of China can have negative repercussions on the security of India, as well as misinformation. So that always needs to be considered.
Okay. What is fiscal health index? What do you mean by fiscal health index?
Sorry, sir, I'm not able to. I'm not aware.
You're not
of
aware
this
of it?
Yes.
Because recently Niti Aayog had come out with the report on the fiscal health of various states. So you're not aware of it, right? Okay. What does the flag code of India, National Flag Code, talk about Republic Day and Independence Day? How does it differ? What are the provisions by which on Republic Day and Independence Day, how do we respect our national flag? What actually happens?
Sorry, I'm not aware of this.
So you don't know what difference between the Republic Day flag unfurling and the Independence Day flag hoisting?
Sorry, sir, I'm not aware.
Okay,
We
fine.
don't.
Right. Now, Tamil Nadu, the Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu recently made a statement that the union government needs to take care of the financial interests of the states, especially the southern states, because the devolution of funds is not sufficient and is not equitable. Would you agree with this statement?
The statement that the Tamil Nadu Chief Minister rose against the devolution of fund is in the term is justified for his state, because the amount of revenue that it gives to the center, and the remuneration or the fund that is devoluted to its state is very less, as when for every 1 rupee it only gets 30 paisa, whereas the other state gets more, especially the northern state. But sir, saying that it is not equitable will be not a right term, because the term of reference that the Finance Commission takes is on the basis of population, as well as distance of income to population gap. So which needs to be considered, because states like if because all states need to develop in the same manner, and we are seeing that the southern states, due to earlier industrial development, economical development, access to FDIs and ports have developed very fastly, which is lacking, especially in the northern state.
No,
So
no,
that,
this is what, no, the horizontal devolution.
yes, sir.
That's just one part of the story.
Yes, sir.
So, what are you what are your opinions on the demands for better vertical devolution?
So I agree that there should be the policy needs to be relooked about the vertical devolution.
What is the quantum that is right now devolved vertically?
So the 15th Financial Commission recommended 41% of devolution, so which needs to be relooked because there has been the union government has been able to increase its revenue share by 5 folds, which where the states have only been able to increase by 2 folds. That needs to be relooked because one, there the surcharges and cess are out of the purview of the Finance Commission, so that needs to be relooked. And secondly, the funds that are being released for the center sponsored schemes also we need to look because there are more than 300 schemes that the center runs and which the more burden falls on the state. So yes, these needs to
All
be
right.
relooked.
All right. See, there is a tug of war that's going on between the RBI and the Finance Ministry. Okay, on the repo rate reduction. Would you agree with the RBI governor that keeping a very neutral outlook on repo rate and holding on to the rate, would that be amenable, and would that be useful for the country's growth?
The RBI and the finance minister work in two different spheres, but both have the same goal of economic development of nation. Well, RBI has the focus of keeping the repo rates unchanged because it is saying that the rupee is falling, and rather than rupee falling, that the dollar is becoming strong. So it is making that the fall of the rupee becomes cushioned. So it is one its focus. So yeah, so for this reason, and there is secondly there is increase in inflation. So it also has to need to take care of the inflation rate according to MPC codes, that is Monetary Policy Commission's recommendation. So yes, so it will not, but the Finance Commission is thinking, the Finance Ministry is thinking about how to increase the economic growth, and for it, it requires there should be increased liquidity in the market that will lead to increased productivity, which is lagging since the last quarter, financial quarter that the reports were released. So there needs to be synergy that between these two and not a tug of war because both have the same goal of the economic development of the nation.
Okay. The budget is due to be announced, and India is facing a crisis in terms of managing the climate change. Um, the experts are unanimous in pointing out to the fact that the budget needs to make provisions immediately for ameliorating the effects of climate change. And especially the year 2026 happens to be very crucial uh, because the EU is tightening its screws. What, in your opinion, do you think is important for the budget to provide for?
The budget, first focus of the budget should always should be to promote the economic development because it is one of the one of the most important aspects. But that should be balanced with the economical guidelines or the economic principles, environmental principles that India has, especially with the respect to Panchamrit. So for which India is trying to promote increase economic productivity in lines with sustainability, with EV cars production, FAME,
No,
as well.
my question is very specific. Our economic development and growth rides the piggyback on our exports to European Union,
Yes, sir.
who's one of our major importers. And now European Union is coming down with CBAM. Are you aware of CBAM?
Like carbon border adjustment taxes that
Exactly,
is.
exactly. Okay, carbon border adjustment mechanism. So by 2026, it is going to kick into action. So which would mean there would be higher tariff rates on supply chains which have which are high on carbon footprint. So what do you think about the budget being a tool to deal with this emergent situation? Because we are hardly only 11 months away from it, and much needs to be done.
There needs to be shift our focus towards one that can be promoting green-based industries, especially the industry which will face challenges because of EU CBAM is one, the steel industry, cement industry. So we can incorporate one of our own carbon taxes or carbon taxing mechanism by which these industries can take up and incentivize their production to move towards green, especially using of green coals, green hydrogen. So this will make our production export positive towards the EU. But secondly, only taking the budgetary steps will not be in the right direction. We need to develop dialogues and discussion with the EU, because it is not against the WTO principles, and it is penalizing our developing nation also.
Economists are saying that India is sitting on a gold mine of a digital dividend. Would you agree?
I would agree that we have one of the fastest internet connectivity among the nations around the world. Secondly, we have access to cheap internet also. So and we have more than 600 million social media users and 1.1. I'm not able to recall how many people are using phone exactly.
That's okay. But see, how do you address the digital divide that exists, especially the post-COVID, for almost 2 years, marginalized sections who did not have access to digital devices, those children were left out of the schooling system, and that 2 years gap is going to be carried forward. And on the other hand, we are talking about demographic dividend, right? Where if you add up these 2 years of marginalized children who have missed out on schooling, it could be elementary, it could be middle, it could be high, it could be higher secondary. Now that's a huge liability on the country. So how do you think this can be addressed?
As you have rightly pointed out, there has been a divide that has happened post-COVID, especially the challenges were mostly on the vulnerable section of society, that were the women as well as the lower caste and the scheduled tribe that faced maximum number of challenges. Focus how we can reduce this gap that has creeped in. We can use the central service centers that are present in the villages to reskill and skill, upgrade their knowledge about their connectivity. Secondly, we can use the Digital India mission that we have, that is to increase the connectivity to all the rural villages through to optical fiber network that we are trying to build up. So this will lead to increase in connectivity and reduce the gap, especially between haves and have-nots, and skilling and reskilling through vocational training of these students, and special focus can reduce these gaps. And thirdly, we can also use
in 1950, India and China were almost on a same pedestal. But all of a sudden, we see about 50, 60 years from there, we find China has become the global manufacturing hub and literally an economic superpower. Okay. Where do you think India, lost that edge and opportunity, and why?
The edge that India lost to China, one will be 20-year gap between the LPG reform that India brought up in 1990, which was brought up in China in 1970, which led to development of industrial hubs, especially in the manufacturing hubs of MNCs in the Chinese, which led to economic development, will be one. Secondly, so the focus toward the primary education that happened in China, especially in the vocational training institute, which whereas India only focused on the higher education institutes in the initial years after independence. Thirdly, will be the infrastructure development, that the China progressed more rapidly as compared to India. Still, we can say that there is a not quality as well as the timely delivery of infrastructure is some challenges where China could have China and India. This led to the divide between India and China's progress.
Where in this case, I would like to draw your attention to DOGE, America. You are aware of DOGE?
So that is Department of Governance Efficiency.
Yeah. So the president feels that USA needs to debureaucratize, decrease the control of bureaucrats over various processes. Shouldn't India be thinking on similar lines, because China seems to have progressed well on that front?
I agree that India also needs to work towards reducing bureaucratic hurdles, and we are already in the lines. If we take the case of less government and more governance, these are also to increase ease of doing businesses. Secondly, digital economy, digital governance that we have promoted. Thirdly, the e-Karma Yogi platforms that we have brought, that is from rule based to role based. So these are all to reduce the bureaucratic hurdles, red tapeism, even the faceless taxation regime that have been brought up is to reduce the bureaucratic hurdles, and we are already on the lines that the USA is taking currently to reduce bureaucrats in the public sphere.
All right. What's happening at Hasdev Arand? Are you aware of this place, Hasdev Arand?
So sorry, sir, I'm not able to. I'm not.
You're not aware of this. This is a tribal, forest tribal issue is brewing, and the tribals are up in arms. Okay. You are a student of anthropology. You've taken anthropology in your civils, right?
Yes, sir.
See, there is always the dichotomy between development and displacement. And it's always the tribals who are at the receiving end, and it has been going on forever and ever, which is actually what leads to the rise of left-wing extremism. Where have we failed? Because it's a burning issue, the issue that I talked about, Hasdev Arand, and so is the case with most other forest lands inhabited by tribes. Do you think we are doing anything at all worthwhile? As an anthropology student, would you agree with what is going on?
So the challenges that you have rightly pointed out between the tribal and their increased vulnerability is one due to the government not recognizing their rights over Jal Jungle Zameen, giving them. Secondly, will the governance that the tribals have their unique governance system, which needs to be recognized as well as protected. Thirdly, sir, their forest rights and should be also recognized. And fourthly, sir, the proper implementation of PESA Act, FRA, the Forest Right Act 2006, and Schedule 5 and Schedule 6 should be established in letter and spirit. Because when these are not being implemented in letter and spirit, these has leading to the challenges or the sufferings of the tribe. So the government have taken the steps, if we take the legal step or the administrative steps to address the challenges, but still the last mile connectivity has not been recognized, because one will be that the people of the administration, there is a lack of administrative apathy that is present, especially in this forest area between forest officials versus tribals. That is happening. Secondly, sir, because the tribals are also one of the vulnerable people, especially in education and employment sectors. So they do not have the access to resources that recognizes their rights over the land, because they do not have the pattas or their required proofs, which leads to more challenges. So these needs to be seen and addressed, and there should be more proactive step that promotes their integration in integration to our society on their own level, but rather than forcing them.
All right. One final question, and then we will go for the review. India is said to be in discussion with Arakan Army of Myanmar, which is a non-state actor. For a democratically elected country, dealing with a non-state actor, is it advisable? on diplomatic
Uh,
terms?
So because India is trying to engage with the Arakan army is essential because one, Myanmar shares border with India, and it is essential for India's security to have dialogues and discussion with the open dialogue channels and discussion channels with the people, because there has been increased insurgency as well as trafficking along the borders. So yes, if India has time and again have tried to discuss with people, non-state actors with of the neighboring nations, because it is one, to maintain peace and order, and secondly to protect our national integrity as well as national interest, and thirdly will be for the national security. We also have talks with the Taliban government, but which we do not recognize as a government because it is not elected by people. But we have talks and discussions with them also, sir.
All right. So our interview portion has come to an end now.
Yes, sir.
We will go for the feedback and review. You can
Yes.
relax.
Thank you, sir.
You are heaving a sigh of relief.
No, sir. No, sir. I think I did not know a lot of things, especially the which are in the
No, no,
news.
no, 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 no. Wait. See, as my observations, let me make first, then you can, whatever you want to
Yes,
ask me,
sir.
you can ask me.
Okay.
Firstly, see, I want to tell you that your face looks very serious. You can smile a
Yeah.
bit.
Okay, sir.
You can appear relaxed.
Okay, sir.
You are relaxed. I know that you're not as tense as you make out to be. The expression shows that you are a bit tense, but you can show a little bit of your facial muscles need to be relaxed a bit, and you
Okay,
can
sir.
smile. That is exactly what I want. Have a smile on your face, because
Yes, sir.
tell you people keep looking at people walking in and walking out. No, the whole board is watching people come and go. It's very tedious for them also to look at somebody walk inside like a machine, and then जो भी रट्टा करके आया तो पूरा निकाल के
Yes,
जाता है.
sir.
That's not the you would like to make an impression on them by a good smile and a very
Okay, sir.
pleasant demeanor. Okay, have
Okay,
a
sir.
nice smiling demeanor. Okay, that's one. Two, your preparation is quite good. You have information and data which you are able to also package it well. So both content and delivery, both are above average. You are really good there. You have the language and you also have the content. But I would like to give you an advice. Try to
Yes,
keep
sir.
your conversation precise and sharp and concise,
Yes, sir.
because most of your conversations tend to meander on. It just keeps on going. You have a lot of
Okay,
points. Doesn't mean that you got to deliver everything,
okay, sir.
right?
Sorry.
So it's not the main exam. Like it's not like 1,000 words, 2,000 words, or 1,500
Yes, sir.
words. Okay, it's a conversation. It should not become a monologue.
Okay, sir.
Just like a conversation with somebody, some friend of your dad's, or your, some senior or your teacher. They ask you one question and then you lecture on them.
Okay, sir.
No, it's not that. You would like to firstly uh, listen to the query. I call them as trigger, conversation trigger. These are
Yes,
not
sir.
question answer sessions. These are discussions and conversations, and the trigger comes from me.
Okay, sir.
So you just listen to the trigger and try to decipher whatever I say, break it down into its essential components, and then just cut out the peripheries and go to the core and deliver it quickly without beating around the bush. Do
Yes,
not
sir.
volunteer extra information.
Okay, sir.
Okay, whatever is asked, and then there is a small danger of you becoming a bit defensive about government and its policies.
Okay, okay, sir.
You are not a bureaucrat yet. You are not an IAS officer. You are not the spokesperson of the government. You are
Yes,
a
sir.
student, and you are observing the things as they happen.
Okay, sir.
Like especially about that PHC, in Madhubani. Uh, See, personally, I have been, I worked in Bihar as an election observer. I'd been to
Okay, sir.
Muzaffarpur. Okay. And my personal experience, see, going on behalf of the Election Commission as the expenditure observer, That was in 2021. Then that is when they came out with this booster dose. Remember COVID?
Yes, sir.
Whoever has
Yes,
taken
sir.
the 2 doses, there
Yes,
was
sir.
this chance of this Omicron variant coming again. So they said, please
Yes, sir.
take a booster dose. And I
Yes, sir.
happened to be there in Muzaffarpur at that time.
Yes, sir.
Then I had asked my liaison officer, can you take me to the hospital, government hospital in Muzaffarpur, and I will take a booster dose. You know what he said? Sir, आप चेन्नई चला जाइए सर, वहां पे ले लीजिए ना सर. I asked why. नहीं सर, मुजफ्फरपुर में last year, that is I went there in 2021. He said around 2020 November December ऐसा कुछ somebody went for eye checkup, and then people are blinded in that hospital. So he said, the government medical infrastructure is not highly reliable because lots of gaps, lots of middlemen. The delivery, especially at the fringes, at the marginalized, grassroots, people don't have, much control over what goes on there. And this article that I read about Madhubani, it was shocking for me, which said that girls are not registered. Girls' births are not registered because the society does not feel that they can spare 500 rupees for registering girl births. Whereas boy children, they feel it's a pride to have a boy, so they say, okay, 500 rupees will register.
Yes, sir.
Because they say like our daily wage is only 200 rupees. So we have like 2.5 days worth of wage to register our girl children's birth is not worth it. Because the money that the ASHA worker wants for registration is 500 rupees per birth certificate. And they were not even aware that it has to be done free of cost. But then the ASHA worker says that, yes, we don't get proper salary, and our honorarium of 1,000 rupees per month is just not enough. We are fighting our battle for 21,000 per month. But the government always promises whenever we protest, they promise, but then they don't deliver. So what I'm saying is at the grassroots level, the board members will know exactly what's going on at the grassroots.
Yes, sir. Okay.
So one need not be overly defensive. You should be able to balance it.
Yes, sir.
You should say, okay, yes, factually, yes, you too have come across various reports,
Yes,
ground
sir.
level reports, where this happens. Even during the electioneering, like last time when the elections were happening, Tejashwi was telling that how albeit the fact that there is prohibition, but booze flows freely.
Yes, sir.
See, you see, there is one, the formal and the real. So there's a huge gap. So you don't have to, completely, cover it all up, because that is not your purpose.
Yes, sir. Sure.
You're not to defend. You're not defending our nation before another country. If there are gaps in the administration, objectively, that needs to be dealt with.
Yes.
Everywhere.
Yes, sir.
Right. If there is a gap, like there is a criticism that election commission is favoring the party in power. If that is I have in many of my mock interviews I have questioned candidates. There is a criticism that India is an electoral democracy, but a flawed democracy otherwise. We only conduct once in 5 years elections. To that extent, it's a democracy. But between election to the election, in between whatever happens, there are many of democratic rights are being trampled upon. It's a very valid criticism. So you need to say that yes, one section does talk about, and as a democracy, yes, questions. You're supposed to question the system. You're supposed to raise all the pertinent questions, because that augurs well for the growth and the strength of democracy.
Yes, sir.
So criticism of democracy is I think the fundamental principle of democracy itself. And that's how you become better. Yes. Accountability and transparency. All this is meant for what? Yes. You're saying that our less government and more governance, or whatever they say. That means what? You have to hold the bureaucrat and the politician, the political leader, to account. So that means you need to ask questions. But every question that is raised, if it is being treated as a anti-national effort, then there is no vibrancy of the democracy, right? So when you prepare answers for these issues, always take a very balanced stand.
Okay, sir.
Okay. And about China and India, your replies were spot on. You really hit the bullseye. I was very impressed with those replies. And about uh, yeah, almost when I talk about you're talking about all the schemes and all that, but that's what finally you come across as if someone who is afraid to call spade a spade.
Yes, sir.
So like dental health care, you said no, it's not all that bad. Or medical health, everything, because you said yes, it is not that expensive. But what I'm saying is, first of all, the access to dental health care in the rural areas and smaller towns is very less.
Yes, sir.
And then you have all these fancy places in the city. All this
Yes, sir.
city and the well-to-do people are able to afford it. But most of our poor rural people, whether it is fluoride or whether it is sponge chewing or whether it is poor dental health care because of tobacco and all that, no, much needs to be done. There's a huge gap. Right?
Because you
So
asked me what is the health status of dentistry, but I was like, if we take the 2 decades, if we even say that that has led to increased penetration of dentists.
no, that is what I'm saying. See, it's a relative statement, but
Yes, sir.
even relative also, there may be marginal improvement over what happened some time ago to now. But
Yes, sir.
in absolute terms, yet there's a huge,
Okay, sir.
gap there in the
Okay,
delivery.
sir.
So I would suggest on all these things, you can be better prepared, and also you can. I mean, the question also needs to be carefully, analyzed. Whatever the trigger is, you have to analyze it carefully, and you can form your replies in a more balanced way.
Yes, sir.
And about Republic Day and Independence Day, that is a you need to you know
Yes, sir.
this was something I didn't expect coming from you, because you are so well prepared in so many other areas, but this is so fundamental, because one is the flag hoisting. We call Independence Day is a flag hoisting, whereas Republic
First.
Day is flag unfurling. I gave you a clue. You didn't listen
Okay,
to my
yes, sir.
next question. The second question, I did mention that flag code talks about flag hoisting and flag unfurling.
Yes, sir. But I
So
exactly did not know the terms or the exact mechanism how it happens. I have
yeah,
seen
yeah,
it, but I've not like focusedly observed it. That is one of my
yeah,
flaws,
yeah.
if I say.
That's okay. That's okay. And you could, because yeah. But then there's a lot of time from here to your interview, so much will happen now, because since our mock interview is happening right next to your.
Republic.
The other thing, see, the deep seek thing. No, I don't
Yes, sir.
know. Your replies not convincing at all,
Okay, sir.
because you were very vague in the reply, and you were taking a nationalistic purview. Okay, but that is not correct, in the sense it's as open source as the chat GPT is. What
Oh
happens
no.
is, no, it is still in its early stage. uh, all that they are trying to do is, it's an open source, and it is doing the same whatever search using various data centers as the other AIs are, open AIs are. But the thing is, uh, it does not hold a monopoly over any data. Because data is falsifiable, right?
Mhm.
It can do many things like that. But the thing is, how it is beneficial to India or any poor countries, Boga, it takes about what 100 million to set up, the open AI, whereas this you need to spend only about 5 millions or so. First of all, it reduces the numbers, and then it
Mhm.
cuts down the monopoly of the GPUs needed from NVIDIA. NVIDIA's
Mhm.
GPUs, it needs in literally lakhs to set up data centers and to
Mhm.
train open, so, the generative AI. So in lot many ways, it is disruptive. But it is not a solution to all the problems. But
Yes,
all
sir.
that we are talking here about is, it is showing the way forward for poorer countries. One need not have huge MNCs and behemoths like your Google and Alphabet and Oracle to run generative AIs. It can be run even by smaller entities. So this is the most important thing. One, it is cheaper. Two, it is it has democratized the competition, and it has shown the way. And even whatever that the monopoly that the Western nations had, once that has been reduced, then it will speed up the other developments. So about how it is showing Arunachal Pradesh or it is Tripura and all that. No, see, those are the information that's available, say, well, within the Chinese database. But this is a platform which is still a work in progress, and we need not use those criticisms to kind of downplay the various advantages that this has, especially for countries like India. Because right now, India wants to set up data centers. The Ambanis are planning to set up data center, for which they are buying some 10,000 GPUs or so, which is running into literally crores and crores. But if there is an alternative in the market, it's going to be that much good. And moreover, USA has come down with sanctions against India and China in terms of export of their chips. It is going to control, but now it will not be possible with this China's intervention. Otherwise, we were having a tough time ahead, because there is a framework which controls export of chips and GPUs to countries like USA and like India and China. So there's so much to be read about. So prepare more, get more information about it, work on it. And well, that is the feedback that I have for you. I'm very impressed with your overall preparation. You are really, you will crack it if you go at this pace. Only thing is just fine tune your replies, and and as I told you, don't appear worried. Your face should not give this expression that you are worried about why you are there. It's a celebration. So you got through to your mains, and you're there in the interview. It's a celebration, and you should come across as a very fresh and very cheerful lady. So you can keep working on it. And is there any question that you would like to ask me?
So was my speed okay, or I tend to speak very fast?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. You can calibrate it, and you can the cadence also. You can slow down a bit, because in your mind you have so much data, you want to compress it, so you're in a hurry. For each for every response you have lots to say. But as I told you, if you are able to snip out the extra bits and give a concise reply, then you would not be mentally there won't be that urge to run fast, so that you'll have to cram everything down. So that you can if you do that, it will come down automatically.
And so I was very too yes man of government from now. My answer sounded like that very much, especially if we see the primary health centers of Bihar.
See, most of the time, not just you. I find there is this something in the air now. Youngsters are aware of one thing, that in social media, social network, in the family groups and in your housing society groups, there is you cannot air your views in the public. There is a certain fear factor. It is simply not acceptable to criticize the government, however bad it may be. Right? It is just not possible. It's not only in your mind, it's in the mind of most of the interview takers I have come across, and everybody is afraid. People are afraid. People are not willing to talk. 10 years ago, people are willing to openly discuss about the failures of Manmohan government, the failures of Narasimha Rao government. But now nobody wants to even say the word failure and Modi in one sentence.
So the question that you asked me about devolution of funds between the South and State, my answer was okay.
See, that's what good that you brought it up. I wish to tell you one thing. See, the Tamil Nadu and the other southern states like Karnataka, Kerala, what they're saying is they are being penalized for better performance because they have brought down the population. Because they reduce population, Therefore, the percentage, to Bihar and UP is getting more because the population is more. They say it should be the other way around. That should be a formula where, yes, for you have a huge population, you need to serve them better. Yes, that should be. But then there is also a criteria which says that if you perform well on, reducing population, if you perform well on your, fiscal health, then there's also an incentive to be given, right? So they meant equitable in the sense that you need to take care of incentivizing good performance.
Because there are term of references, especially if the states which have reduced their population, and secondly, the financial health of the states that are they are getting incentivized. Some factors like 2.5 and 10, 2.5, some percentage are given to those states also.
Yes. So those are the areas which you need to prepare a little better, especially center-state relations on finances. Then governor's role. Most of the opposition-ruled states, the governor's role is coming up for huge criticism. In Supreme Court, because Tamil Nadu government went to Supreme Court against the governor of Tamil Nadu who is sitting on bills. Inordinate delays. Constitution does not give that power. Pocket veto, he does not have. President has pocket veto. Governor can either give assent or return it back or reserve it for president's assent. So these are the critical areas that's currently going on. And anthropology, Hasdev Aran, displacement, tribe, minerals, ores, all these things you have to, because wherever you see, there will be Adani involved. So you should not say, no, all is fine. The tribals are happy. They are living in their forest. Because there are issues that the tribals are facing because of coal mines coming up in Hasdev Aran.
Yes, sir.
Hasdev Aran coal mines. So, and the tribals there treat each tree as their god.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now the question is, if Mahakumbh is very, very dear to the Hindu population, the forest trees are as dear to the tribal population, but you don't want to consider that as their gods, right?
Yes, sir.
So, tribes don't matter. That's the whole problem.
So, okay, but then the question comes up now, we also need to take in consideration development of the nation as well as security of the nation also.
Okay, no, that's what. Now the point is development of the nation at the cost of whom and for the benefit of whom.
Okay,
so you're talking about inclusive growth. Then that should factor in the tribals who are losing their habitat, they're losing their livelihood, they're losing their culture, they are losing their spiritual, sources of spiritual fulfillment. They are losing their livelihood. Then they are displaced and they are taken to the. So much is happening there. So in anthropology, we have so much to study on. But in reality, we cannot simply say that, no, development is good. Okay, if the development is good, should it not develop them also? So first you rehabilitate them. You have to rehabilitate them. First you have to have a rehabilitation program for them. Their livelihood should be taken care of. Only then this is possible, right? Okay, sir. I think, we have run out of time. It was fun chatting with you. I hope it was useful to you.
Thank you, sir.
I wish you all the very best. And
thank you, sir.
We will stay in touch. Maybe we will have more opportunities, in mocks. Right?
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
So all the best.
Thank you, sir.